So, what do you like to do in your free time? Damn, I cannot say that I like singing Taylor Swift songs while I shower. Oh, yeah, I like Formula One. No way! I love Formula One! What driver do you support? I personally love Fernando Alonso. I think he's such a good driver and he's so talented. You know nothing about Formula One, right? No. F1 is the pinnacle of motorsports, and lucky for you, I graduated from the University of Jappingston, so don't worry and hear me yap. Today, I'm gonna help you so that if you make up that you like Formula One, at least you know what the heck you're saying. F1 is a global motorsport championship. It consists of series of races known as Grand Prix, held on circuits and streets worldwide. Usually, one Grand Prix is 3 days long, starting on Friday when there's only free practice, and that's literally just for the drivers to get used to the track and take some notes about the car. Then, in Saturday, it's qualifying, where the positions for the race are decided. Qualifying is basically 3 races of less than 20 minutes each, where the slower cars are eliminated. In Formula One, there's 10 teams made up of 20 drivers. Each team normally has only 2 main drivers and one as a reserve in case of the main one gets sick or, has his appendix removed. Carlos Sainz. The teams that were in the 2024 season were McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, Aston Martin, Alpine, Haas, RB Bisa Kashyap. What the heck is that name? Williams and Kick-Sauber. Usually the names of the teams change depending of the ownership or the main sponsor just goes away. These teams usually battle each other to score points, and the team who gets more points at the end of the season wins the Constructor Championship. Each driver scores a certain amount of points that leads them to the Driver Championship. For these drivers to score points, they need to end on the first 10 positions of the race, called P, followed by the number. Now, I'm gonna say some nerdy things that people that are really into Formula One are going to ask you just to test how much knowledge you have about the theme. We start with DRS, stands for Drag Reduction System. That is a pain in the ass to say. My bilingual ass cannot do this. I'm quitting.
Okay.
It's a tool in Formula One that helps drivers to overtake. And you may ask, how does it work? The driver opens a flap on the rear wing of their car, reducing air resistance and increasing speed of straight sections. It can only be used on the DRS zones that you can check at the beginning of every race. And the drivers must be a second away of the car in front so they can DRS open. Pole position. This is how we call the first spot of the starting grid, earned by the fastest driver in qualifying. And obviously, me as a Ferrari fan, I know what a pole position is.
Change your car. You've got a problem. Change your fucking car.
Then you change your car because Checo has been saying the car.
Pit stop. It's when a car stops during the race to change tires or make repairs. You know when the pit stop is going to happen when you hear from the radio?
Box, 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 box.
And if you're a Ferrari fan, it's the most terrifying thing you could ever happen to you.
And box now, box now, box for hard. Stay out, stay out, stay out.
Fuck!
We also got podium, something that Red Bull fans are really used to. This is how you can call the Grand Prix winner, aka Max Verstappen.
Simply lovely. I tell you that.
Also, in strategy, we also have tires. In F1, the teams can make strategies about the tires a driver is going to use throughout the race. There's 3 different tires, the hard, medium, and soft tires, each having their own pros and cons. The soft tires being the fastest one but low durability, and the hard ones being the slowest one but longer durability. There's also 2 other tires that can be used when the weather gets kind of freaky and the track gets wet. They're the intermediate. Yeah, that. The intermediate tires are usually used when the track is kind of slippery, but not that much. The final ones are the wet tires that are used when the track is, wet. Now, in simple terms and words, I'm going to explain each of the teams so you can decide who you want to support. I'm not going to get into the technical stuff because I honestly don't know shit about the cars, but I know about the drama.
Right, if my mom had balls, she would be my dad, so...
Red Bull. The drivers on this team are Sergio Perez, aka the Mexican Minister of Defense, and Max Verstappen, aka the... You may notice that this team has the same name as the energy drink, and the reason is because Red Bull does not know how to only do energy drinks. In that team, we have such a variation. We have a depraved as a team principal, Christian Horner, a freaking Dodge Terminator with daddy issues, and Sergio Perez.
I am stupid.
Ferrari. In this hopeless team, we have Charles Leclerc that never makes any incidents, and Carlos Sainz Vázquez de Castro se enamoró Rincón Rebolo Virto Moreno de Arenda Don Pedro Urriel Loboira Pérez del Pulgar. You will not find happiness anymore. This team has made sure of messing with the fans' feelings on the last season that there's literally people moving out from Ferrari to another team because they're always fucking up their strategy.
I'm moving up and down, side to side like a roller coaster.
McLaren was founded by Bruce McLaren in 1963. The team started racing in F1 in 1966. McLaren is one of the most successful teams in F1 history, with a legacy of championships and iconic drivers like Ayrton Senna, Alain Prost, Fernando Alonso, and Lewis Hamilton. The drivers in this team are Lando Norris, who was really loved by the public, but this last season became someone who is almost as hated as Esteban Ocon.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
We also have Oscar Piastri, who is the reincarnation of a nonchalant King Kimi Raikkonen.
The one debut, he was only 3 years old. That probably doesn't sound too good.
No, Mikey,
no, Mike. That was so not right.
Here comes
Mercedes. Mercedes' history in F1 is as old as Ferrari's. They entered the sport in the early 1950s and quickly gained a lot of attention since they had the fastest car and keep winning championship after championship. And from then on, it got better after the GOAT itself entered the team. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about the one and only Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton.
They know I'm a big boss, got a big boss in this bitch. They know I'm a big talker, have my big body in this heat. No, it's had me, bitch, R.I.P., bitch, they die. Turn the light on my side, please have the lights off for you inside.
Lewis Hamilton made Mercedes win 7 consecutive Constructors' Championships, setting a high standard of what a good driver must do to their team. In the 2024 grid, we have the last mentioned Lewis Hamilton and George Russell. George Russell entered Formula One in 2019 in Williams, moving to Mercedes in the early 2022. Russell is seen as a rising star in F1, known for his consistency, work ethic, and ability to deliver strong results, even when the car isn't perfect.
Can you stay out on this condition? Can you stay out?
Yes.
Aston Martin, as other teams, also joined in the early 1950s. In that time, they didn't have much success. They raced a few times, and while they were competitive at times, they weren't a top team and soon left F1. But then they rejoined F1 in 2018 under the name of Racing Point and soon changing to Force India. In 2021 will be the year they rebranded the whole team, becoming Aston Martin again. The drivers in this team are currently the 2-time world champion and rookie Fernando Alonso, who has been driving since 600 before Christ, but still manages to be one of the most updated on the brain rod lower, and the pay-to-win Lance Stroll, who is just there because his daddy paid for his seat.
You said real sweat? It's real sweat. I'm a high-performance athlete. Athletes sweat. Sweat, baby. Sweat, sweat.
Alpine. Alpine's F1 history starts with Renault, a French car manufacturer that first entered F1 in the 1970s. Renault has some success, especially in the 2000s when they won 2 drivers' championship with Fernando Alonso, but in 2021 they changed the name to Alpine. And since becoming Alpine, the team has worked hard to be a competitive force in the sport. They're still developing, but have shown promise in recent years. That's what I would say if they were actually a good team, because in the past years they only have shown that they cannot create a decent car. The drivers in this team are Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon.
Men han prøver på yderbanen.
Once again, most unsportive driver of the
Suck
grid.
my balls, mate. Yeah.
Haas, our American team. Haas made their F1 debut in 2016, becoming the first American team in F1 since 1986. They entered with a fresh approach, focusing on building a competitive car while outsourcing many parts from other teams to save costs. Honestly, even though this team has the potential to become a good and a decent team, they always end up at the end because of the motor or poor strategies. But hey, at least they got Mick Schumacher for a while.
We can do the race. Absolutely. You won here in 22. Let's see if you can do it again today. Cheers. And up next, big cheers from the crowd for Yuki Tsunoda. Congratulations, Yuki. Top 3.
RB. Guys, even though this team's official name is RB Visa Cash App, I'm gonna refer it to as Toro Rosso because that's how I met it and it's easier to pronounce to me. Toro Rosso was an F1 team that started in 2006 as a sister team to Red Bull Racing. The team was originally known as Minardi before being bought by Red Bull and renamed Toro Rosso, which means Red Bull in Italian. Toro Rosso's main goal was to give young drivers a chance to race in F1, and they had some notable moments like winning in the 2008 Italian Grand Prix with Sebastian Vettel, who was a Toro Rosso driver at that time. The original 2024 drivers were my personal favorite Yuki Tsunoda and Daniel Ricciardo, later replaced by Liam Lawson. Guys, I'm editing this video and I cannot find a funny video about Williams. I swear to God. I tried to find about that one Colapinto interview when he's saying about Las Vegas Grand Prix, like it smells a lot like weed, but I cannot find it anywhere. And I already tried everything. I tried TikTok, I tried YouTube, I tried everything, but I cannot watch it. So, Williams is their underdog team who somehow keeps showing up. Founded in 1977 by Frank Williams, the team quickly became a powerhouse in the 1980s and the 1990s, winning multiple drivers and constructor championships with legendary drivers like Nigel Mansell, Alain Prost, and Ayrton Senna. Williams dominated the sport in the early 1990s, especially with their strong cars and powerful engines from Renault. However, the team struggled in the following decades due to financial challenges and changes in the F1's technical regulations. The 2024 drivers are Alexander Albon, who was before in Red Bull, but I guess he doesn't like it there, and Logan the Goat Sargent, who is unable to finish a race. Later, he was replaced by the Argentinian driver Franco Colapinto, and even though I prefer Logan, mi gente latino, I guess. Kick-Sauber. The Kick-Sauber, also known as Alfa Romeo, is like that emo kid in the corner. Quiet, mysterious, but still somehow in the mix. In 2019, Alfa Romeo became a sponsor and engine supplier for the Sauber team, which was rebranded as Alfa Romeo Racing. In recent years, they've struggled to compete with the top teams but have shown improvement. In 2022, they signed Finnish driver Valtteri Bottas, who brought experience and consistency to the team, and the Chinese driver Zhou Guanyu, making history as the first Chinese F1 driver. Many people may argue that F1 is a really boring sport, but I can assure you that if you give it a chance, it can dazzle you because the magic of F1 is not only in the races, but in the drama, the strategies, the crashes between the cars, and most of all, in Sergio Perez's yacht. Thank you very much.